Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're replacing the factory rear door speaker on this 2007 Chevy Silverado. Now in this install we're going to go ahead and remove the door panel, factory speaker, then we'll head over to the bench to show you the new speaker, assemble the bracket and harness, and come back here to get everything reinstalled. Let's get started. Now the first thing that we need to do is get our factory 6.5 inch out of the door. Obviously we have to remove the door panel here, and it's not like previous old generations, the panel just doesn't lift off. Unfortunately it is held in with clips. We do have to remove a couple of things before we can pull the door panel off. There's a 10mm bolt back behind this little access panel. There's two 10mm back behind this access panel, and we got to pull this guy on off as well. First things first, let's go ahead and pull this guy on out. Now there's going to be a little teeny place you can put in a pick tool here, pull it all the way up and hold it. Get your pick tool in there, and basically we're just popping it out. We don't have to take it all the way out, but it allows this to slip on out. Next, here in the door panel we have this little access panel. Again, using that little pick tool, kind of get up underneath here, pop this on out. There's a couple of clips up and around. Next panel we have to pop off, it's this guy. I'm using a really fine tipped screwdriver, kind of get up underneath just to get it started here, and it pops on out pretty easily. A lot easier. We're actually going to pop up our switch panel and disconnect that as well. So we kind of use our panel tool, get in there just to relieve those clips, and you're going to have a little harness that you can disconnect right here, just like so. Finally, grab our 10mm socket, go ahead and remove the 3 10s. Alright, so with the screws removed, this removed, our panel removed, we are going to grab our panel tool and start relieving the clips up and around the door panel. Kind of find a corner that's a little bit more loose than others. Lift on off. Okay, now this next part will probably be the hardest part. It's disconnecting your handle cable off the door release. Now here we have our door release, and this cable, it has 2 clips on the inside that you need to squeeze in so this can slide out and then out of the handle assembly. Now alternatively, you don't have to remove this, you can just try to hang the door and switch the speaker with this still attached. We're going to go ahead and pull it off just so we can give you a better view of what that looks like in the event you need to totally pull the door off in your application. Now the culprit here is this guy. This guy is very difficult to remove, and essentially it sits in this housing. What you need to do, I usually like to flip the door up almost upside down the panel, and then grab my flathead and just press in one clip, and then with my finger press in the other clip and get that to pop on out. Now down here on the left we have our factory 6.5. It's secured with a 7mm screw, so let's go ahead and remove that screw. Now, using your panel tool here, what we're going to do is kind of get back behind this. Pull this guy out, lift out, and there's our factory speaker. Now, it is held in with a small wire clip. Undo that wire clip there, and then finally, we can disconnect our 6.5. Okay. There's our factory speaker. So at this point in time, let's head over to the bench to show you the speaker and bracket and harness adapter that we're going to need for our install. Alright, so here at the bench, the parts that we're going to need for our install, first and foremost, are the rear speaker replacements that we've chosen to go with. This is the Alpine S-S65 6.5 inch coaxial speakers, so the tweeter is mounted within the mid-range itself. Now, to accommodate these in the factory location, we need a couple of adapters here, and this calls for the Scosche SAGM HR634. Essentially, it's a 6.5 or 6 3/4 inch speaker adapter for the factory location, and this will allow us to mount our 6.5 in that spot perfectly. Finally, we'll need some speaker harness adapters. Calls for the Metra 72-4568 by Metra. These always come in pairs, so you can do both the left and the right side of the vehicle. So first thing that we need to do is go ahead and grab our speaker. We're going to grab our adapter. We're going to get it mounted up in the adapter itself. Nice thing is these harness adapters are plug and play, so we're going to get that wired to the speaker. Then we'll head back to the car to get everything reinstalled. All good to go here. We tested taped our harness just to get a little more protection in the door. Got our speed connector on, and at this point in time we're done with assembly here on the bench. So let's head back over to the car now to go ahead and get this thing installed. All right, so we're back here at the bench. Here's our newly assembled speaker. It's ready to go. Should fit identically right back in that factory location. Plug our harness in here. Clip in the bottom first, then it should lay in flat. We're going to use that same 7mm screw to screw the speaker in. Now, our speaker bracket adapter, if I can kind of get you in there here, has two spots, one here and one here. They're like little wings off with holes in it, with the intentions that you can have an additional anchor point to anchor in your bracket so it doesn't move around here in the door. So you don't solely have to rely on the one screw at the top and the clip at the bottom. So we have some self-tapper screws here that we're going to use just to seat and secure the bracket a little bit more to the door panel. So it's always a good idea to test the speaker to ensure that it's working before you reassemble the door panel. Everything's working great here. Let's go ahead now reassemble our door panel. That's about it for this install. Everything went in nice and clean, and in the end it sounds a heck of a lot better over factory. Now additionally, we are doing the front door, so if you want to see that front door install, we replaced both the mid-range in the door and the tweeter in the dash, a pillar. We'll link that video down in the description, which walks you step by step. Additionally, we have a radio install, a backup camera install, and we're doing a 5-channel amplifier sub install in this truck as well. So if you want to see any of that content, again, we're going to link it down in the description. Any of the parts that you saw today, we'll make sure we link it for you for your convenience. And that's about it for today's install. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you like what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe. We post great content on the channel all the time, and we'll see you in the next video.